Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that half of your city was gone. The streets were silent, shops were closed, church bells rang every day for the dead, and nobody knew who would die next. This was Europe during the Black Death, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. Between 1347 and 1351, the plague killed tens of millions of people. Some villages disappeared completely. People believed the world was ending. This is the story of how people lived during the time of the Black Death. In the 14th century, life in Europe was already difficult. Most people were poor farmers. Cities were crowded, dirty, and filled with rats. There was no modern medicine, no hospitals like today, no understanding of bacteria or viruses. People often threw garbage into the streets. Animals walked freely through cities, and diseases spread very quickly. Then, in 1347, strange ships arrived in Europe from Asia. Some sailors were already dead, others were extremely sick. Soon, people across Europe began developing terrifying symptoms. At first, victims felt weak and feverish. Then painful black swellings appeared on their bodies. These swellings were called buboes. Many people also coughed blood and struggled to breathe. The disease spread incredibly fast. Sometimes entire families died within days. Doctors had no idea how to stop it. Today, scientists believe the plague spread mostly through fleas carried by rats. But back then, people didn't understand this. Instead, many believed the plague was a punishment from God. Others blamed poisoned air or even witchcraft. Fear spread almost as quickly as the disease itself. Daily life became terrifying. People were afraid to leave their homes. In some cities, carts moved through the streets, collecting dead bodies every morning. Churches became overcrowded with funerals. Some graves were so full that bodies had to be buried together in massive pits. Many people stopped working completely. Markets closed. Food became harder to find. And because so many workers died, entire farms were abandoned. The smell of death filled many cities. Doctors during the Black Death looked very different from modern doctors. Some wore long black robes and strange masks with bird-like beaks. Inside the beaks, they placed flowers and herbs because they believed good smells could protect them from disease. These plague doctors became one of the most famous symbols of the Black Death. But the truth was harsh. Most treatments did nothing. Some doctors used bloodletting, believing removing blood could cure sickness. Others burned herbs or told people to pray more. Nothing truly stopped the plague. Not everyone reacted the same way. Some people became extremely religious. Groups called flagellants traveled from town to town, whipping themselves publicly, because they believed pain would save them from God's punishment. Others completely lost hope. Crime increased in some places. People stole abandoned homes and goods from the dead. Some wealthy families escaped cities and hid in the countryside to avoid infection. But even there, many still died. Nobody felt truly safe. Children lost parents. Parents lost children. Entire families disappeared. For many survivors, life after the plague never felt normal again. But slowly, after several terrible years, the disease began fading. By 1351, the worst of the Black Death had passed in many parts of Europe. But the damage was unimaginable. Historians estimate that between 30% and 50% of Europe's population died. Millions of lives were gone. Yet strangely, the Black Death also changed history forever. Because so many workers died, surviving workers became more valuable. Some peasants demanded better pay and better living conditions. The old social system began weakening. Over time, Europe slowly changed. Cities rebuilt, trade returned, and society entered a new era. But people never forgot the horror of the plague. Today, more than 600 years later, the Black Death still fascinates historians and scientists. It reminds us how dangerous disease can become when people do not understand it. And even now, abandoned plague pits, ancient cemeteries, and records from terrified survivors still exist across Europe. The Black Death was more than just a disease. It was a time of fear, loss, and survival. A time when millions of people woke up every day not knowing if they would still be alive tomorrow. And for those who lived through it, the world would never feel the same again. Thanks for watching this story about the Black Death. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more history stories.